Hello, fantasy fanatics. This is Crimson, and you're watching some Bound by Flame. Now we're picking up where we left off with this big guy saying hi to us and our strange demon powers awakening or something. All I know is I have a fireball attack now. And it uses my blue bar that I've had no use for up till now. That uses a lot of my blue bar, actually. There's a lot of little guys who aren't that much of a threat. Well, I guess I could pick off all the archers. Recovering magic, use a health potion. Or health potion, mana potion. Do I have some of those? I do. Alright, potion use is pretty quick. Were there any other archers I had to worry about? Or they just pop up from the side? Can I actually kill the archers at all? Is it a waste of my time to try to keep knocking them down if they keep popping back up? Probably. I guess I'll just do a fiery sword then. Since my mana doesn't really regenerate. At least until I put some points into that tree I didn't have access to until now. Take that, foot. I have killed your foot, sir. You'll never be able to walk again. At least you'll have to hobble whenever you do. Oh, my fire's gone. Stop it, jerk. And your friend, too. So, they can kind of miss. The way these archers attack is very weird. But yeah, some strange thing went wrong with some strange ritual, and now I have demon powers. And this demon had a very strange voice, but was saying stuff about not having us die because of my weakness. Because no one has any confidence in me. No one believes in poor Powder Monkey, main character. Ow. Fine. Fine, I'll use a health potion, jeez. And take a very powerful arrow into the back. I do not like these archers. I wonder how many of these boss fights I'm gonna get into have indefinitely respawning ranged enemies. Because that would be frustrating. Is your arm unhappy? You have any other body parts I can injure, sir? Oh, I didn't finish off your other hand? I'll get it. Or, there we are. Beasted! Go, my demon powers. Stab him what I think is in his neck. Burn him. Shout as his blood rains down upon you. Demons are kind of heavy. Probably don't want it to fall on you. Ben, we eat well tonight. You don't even have to waste time cooking. Alright.
I'm burning!
Phase out of existence when they die. Well, yeah, I mean, I was literally throwing fireballs and setting my sword ablaze. I think burning is one of the things you could expect. Alright, red people, we have succeeded in giving me fire powers. Is everyone gonna stop thinking I'm a baby now?
What just... How did I do that? Hey, Captain! I think it's time we talked about a promotion.
We don't have time for this, Vulcan. We need to move out before the rest of them get here.
The passes are probably crawling with them already.
There's a passage to the other side of the mountain. It will lead us to the swamp.
Yay!
The swamp? That sounds fun. Hey, did anybody see what I just did to that huge fucking monster? I mean, seriously, I fried that thing. I saved our asses and you're all just, hey, what's for lunch?
I said shut it, Vulcan.
Because he knows things that he doesn't want to talk about. He knows it was a demon ritual, and people don't like demons even though the demons just saved their lives, and I'm Captain, I'm a big baby. Hey, big guy. I killed a guy that was larger than you. Is that just your head? Not a helmet? Fascinating. But we get to go to a swamp, you know? It's not a sewer. We have that going for us. Scene established. Although, I just know that that's a bad guy and somewhat in charge of the army. Elsewhere, when you lose track of things, check your menus. Good suggestion. I appreciate it. We're in Upside Down land. Are we right side up land now?
Thou didst flee.
I suppose.
What the...
Thou didst hold the power to face the necromancers, yet thou didst flee.
I had no choice.
No choice! Hast thou even thought of choosing? Thou art fled like a thief, and hast left me, a shadow of myself, trapped here in this dark prison.
I did not create this situation. I am not even sure I understand what has happened.
The hour for
Beep,
questions
boop.
is past. Thou must act. It is I who will suffer for thy cowardice. I who will pay for thine fault. I who will face extinction. And if I must die, if the flame is extinguished, our world will die as well.
I will not let the flame die. I am in a war against these necromancers, and at last, I have the power to fight them.
What dost thou hope to accomplish in this ridiculous human shell? As it is now, it is useless to us. The flame is not a toy for mewling infants. It exists to reign. Its power must not be stolen from thee. We must reconquer the world heart as swiftly as we may.
What?
Hey, Vulcan, enough of your daydreaming. Move your ass, huh?
I'm talking with a demon, Buffalo. I know you have large biceps, but I think the demon's a naked, hairy woman of some sort. Yeah, and she's saying we can conquer the world heart, whatever that is. And that this weird demon power alone is enough to defeat the necromancers
Vulcan,
already.
You hear me? Pull your finger out.
Of what?
Huh? Yeah, I hear you. My head feels like a bomb went off in it.
Our demon.
Well, shake it off. We're still not at the end of this stinking swamp, and I'm not going to carry you all the way to the village.
You could easily.
By the
Look at
way,
those biceps.
How come Hawk isn't the one here with me? He's the lead scout. I always go with him.
Hawk is covering the back of the line. So this time, I'm the one who goes with you. You'll get over it.
I think he just wants to talk to the Reds about me. Keeping watch on me, oh wait, she's gonna say that.
Why do I get the feeling I'm under surveillance?
You think nobody noticed your little stunt at the temple? Damn right we're watching you. Now shut your trap and keep an eye on our perimeter, while I keep an eye on you.
And while the captain has a nice chat about me with the Red Scribes.
It'll be a lot easier to talk to those two-faced snakes without you hanging around. Don't worry about it. He'll tell you what you need to know. And if he doesn't tell you, then I will.
Thanks, Sarge.
Let's get moving before everybody catches up.
You lot are about as discreet as a herd of hunchbacks.
Hello, elf friend.
I thought that elves were supposed to have superior eyesight. Do we look like stiffs to you, dickhead?
Don't need to insult him.
Not yet.
Why is everyone so rude?
But with an arrow sticking out of your throat, I'm certain that even a chatterbox like you could do a passable impression.
And you'd be the next one down.
Possibly. Perhaps I should aim for the largest target first.
Not if you want to keep both your balls.
What have we here? Buffalo in person. Well, that's a good sign.
You recognize him by the biceps or by the ball cutting?
How's the scrag with the pointy ears?
Thanks for noticing. I try to keep them sharp. I am called Relmar. And I gather the red-faced fat belly with the filthy beard is none other than the famous Elric, leader of the Freeborn Blades.
They call me the captain.
All the Freeborn Blades call you Captain Elric. I have no doubt that they do. As for me, I've never had much interest in titles or in military protocol. I judge people by their deeds.
Glad you volunteered that information. Why are you here?
And what are you doing down in the swamps, besides threatening honest mercenaries?
Looking for you. Well, I began by searching for the Red Scribes. Prince Arundel is wounded. We had to withdraw to Valvanor, where I learned that you were expected. I just wanted to make sure you found your way there.
This is not my first walk in the wilds, arsewipe. As you can see, I'm on the right path, and we've nearly reached our destination.
Captain, those creatures I told you about this morning are gathering nearby. They're probably getting ready to attack us.
Is that a side quest, Hawk?
Well, those are called chrysalids. They wait until they have gathered enough numbers, and then they overwhelm you. And it would seem your little group is attracting a whole swarm to the village.
Or a main
Well,
quest?
give them a welcome.
Actually, in spite of themselves, these creatures do an excellent job of keeping dead walker scouts away without raising any suspicions. If we allow them to gather here and then massacre them, I fear we'll be moving their territory a bit too close to Valvanor, which will lead to our being discovered sooner or later. I suggest we send 1 or 2 men back. This will keep them separated and occupied, while the rest make it to the village. I'm ready to volunteer, if you fear I might try and slip away. I know the area well.
Sounds like a plan to me. Vulcan, you're on it.
I want to go too.
Ooh.
The animals and plants in this swamp are extraordinary. And the venom of these chrysalids seems very interesting. I'd love to get a chance to observe them more closely.
Are those the terrifying
Sybil, that
stabby
is
things?
out of the question. Have you lost your mind? It's too dangerous.
Sybil, I choose lady.
Come on, let her off the leash. It'll be good for her. I promise I'll bring her back in one piece.
Because my promise
Welcome.
means everything.
Rule number 2.
I don't know the
We'll see you at
rules.
village.
Sybil!
See you later.
Losers. Ha! Teach me how to fire, miss. Give me more mana or something. Pyromancer is unlocked and I have a level. I wish to put more points into the pyro. Pyromancer. Fireball, fireball. Guardian flames. Ooh. Resistance while they're... Oh. Sends out a wave of heat. Fire damage 10. Ability to interrupt. Okay. Cost and magic to cast the spell. Oh. I think fireball's the one I want. Fire damage. Oh, that's lame. Fire damage, duration, instant cast. Interrupt resistful casting. Speed of... Magic points when you kill an enemy. Oh, that sounds good. A bunch of... So I have armor spell, an area spell, a buff spell, and the damage spell. I want this one. Mostly I want that mana for killing enemies. I want to unlock that quickly. Although I'm beginning to feel that warrior here. Just upgrading my damage straight up and getting these unlocked is going to be the best, but... Well, Pyromancy sounds like it's going to be incredibly overpowered. Alright, did I have anything nice here that I could take yet? Because a lot of these require multiple points, so I'm wondering if I could save these and still level just fine. Because I have more health. I mean, maximum magic. Alright, I'll try to save these, see how it goes. Go into the fight's diary to display strengths and weaknesses. Got it.
They're all around us.
Are these the chrysalids? It's alright, terrifying. Do I really only have 4 hotkeyable menus? I guess they're all bound to other things. Although, yeah, left trigger, A. That's kind of... Ow. Wait, what? All around us? I see one in front of us. Oh, you're fighting your own. Got it. Alright, let's go fire weapon here. These guys don't seem very phased by my many attacks. And I'm trying to save my NPC ally here. It's fine if they attack her, that means I'm just free to wail on them like so. Are you a healer, miss? Because that would be fantastic. For keeping you alive, at least. And man, this mana for killing them is going to be very nice to get. Hopefully I get another level soon, so I can put points into that, like from, say, killing the last of these enemies in this combat. Or not even the last of. Okay. We have driven them back. Does look like a heal. Or she's just waving her hands at me to, I don't know, prove she's tough. Now I have 2 points. Yay! Oh, I could totally get the XP bonus if I had another point. Alright, so that works out. Yeah, I'll get that XP bonus, just save up for that, because that sounds very strong. And, alright, man, I want to kill an enemy. And, do I want my last point in sword damage or recovery after parrying? I'll put one more in sword damage. Ability to interrupt, ability to interrupt in the event of critical hits. Oh, and I can't go into here because I don't have any points in here. But here I can go up because I have just one. It's good to know. Interrupt, resist, get back up faster, warrior stance only stuff, okay. Area of effect on my whirlwind attack. Alright. Huh. Once you turn during parry mastery. You have more time to counterattack. Okay. So if I can take that point out of that ranger thing, because this does exactly what that does, but better. So 1 point to there wouldn't be so bad. How are you, miss?
Sybil, can I talk to you?
Yes?
Oh, we didn't talk about your comments. I have some questions for you.
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
What do you want to know?
That's a lot of dialogue. Oh well, let's get into it.
So, Aeolus is your father.
Yes. And yes, he is the leader of the Red Scribes.
How handy for you.
You are so predictable. Daddy's little girl can do whatever she wants, right? Don't fool yourself. I'm endlessly having to prove myself more than any other scribe. My father doesn't treat me better than the others, and I expect no less from him.
Well, at least that explains why you look like you just stepped out of a library. I guess he supports and encourages you?
Yes, of course. But I'm big enough to make my own choices. Knowledge fascinates me, and I suppose it would have been like that whoever my father was.
I just kind of realized lack of sword and shield options in this game. Whatever. Talk more about you.
Can you tell me more about your order?
Of course. The Red Scribes are an order of sages. Our quest is to find the answers to all the great mysteries of this world.
And so you know about magic?
We study magic from an essentially theoretical viewpoint, but we're not an order of magicians. Even though some of us practice healing magic, but we have nothing to do with the destructive power magic used by the Lords of the Frozen Shadows. And we know very little about that domain, unfortunately.
I see. But that doesn't mean you can't research it, huh?
Obviously, especially now. Any knowledge which would help us turn this war around would be helpful. But according to our archives, we were already studying magic more than 5 centuries ago.
Oh, really?
Did you see me throwing fireballs? Wasn't that cool?
What do you know about the Ice Lords?
As much as it is possible to know without having met them. In some ways, they're quite fascinating, even though the term might seem inappropriate.
Perfect. So how do we kill him?
If I knew that, do you think I would keep it to myself? But I can tell you this, we do believe it's possible. We know that there are 7 lords. Black Storm, Lady Crystal, Marshal Winters, the White Lady, Lord Blackfrost, the Chiller, and the Ice Duchess.
Everybody knows that. We've had our asses kicked by them often enough.
They all sound like the same
For sure.
person.
But in the past, there were more of them. Some scrolls talk of 9 or a dozen, even of 30 lords. Of course it's confusing, and I doubt they would have freely given the information of how to kill one of them. But you can bet that some of them have died. We just have to discover how.
And no one wrote down how they died? Maybe they killed each other then.
Where do they come from?
Most people believe that the lords appeared recently, at the beginning of the war. But I have found certain scrolls that lead me to believe they have been around more than 300 years.
That's a
They are
long
originally
time.
from a region far to the north of Vertiel. For a long time, they remained there. The beginning of their conquest is quite recent. We all think that the war started 10 years ago, but in fact, it is much longer, maybe even the last century. It took them a long time to escape from their region of origin. The dwarf kingdoms were in their way, and they put up a fight.
Huh. You had me going there for a moment. I'm sorry, but dwarves? Save it for the kids.
But you're wrong. The dwarves did exist, but the Ice Lords exterminated them.
Right. And I bet they also massacred all those poor dragons and goblins?
You know that dragons and goblins don't exist. You're impossible.
I wonder if this is the similar universe to Orcs and Men's. But yeah, you know, them dragons and the Dwemer. And, you know, I tell that the Dragonborn has returned and is going to save us from Alduin.
Listen, do they have any weaknesses that we could exploit?
Not that I know of. All of the Ice Lords are powerful sorcerers. They are far more powerful than all the other magicians. They have an unlimited army. If they have a weakness, it's not that.
But in spite of all this, you think there is a weakness?
I do. We often imagine the Ice Lords as a vast megalithic power. But that's not true. In fact, they desperately hunger for power. Just because they pooled their powers to create the Deadwalker army doesn't mean they like each other. Their balance of power is precarious. As soon as they are done with destroying Vertial, they'll probably start killing each other.
Sure, but that doesn't help us much if we have to wait until they're done.
Perhaps there is a way to stir up the tensions between them. Even if for the moment, I can't think how.
I'm more concerned that you just told me that I have 7 major bosses to kill.
Let's change the subject.
Do you know what? Whew.
Do you know what happened to me in the temple?
I'm still searching for an explanation. Something must have gone wrong during the ritual.
But what was the damn ritual supposed to do?
The Red Scribes have always had quite limited magical skills. I believe that the ritual was meant to increase their magical powers to try and find a way of combating the Ice Lords. But instead of channeling pure energy into each of the scribes, the ritual called forth a conscience that settled in you.
Your father called it a demon. How come I got stuck with it?
A demon? That reminds me of the old text, but I couldn't say if that's what it is. You were standing right there, so that force flowed into you. It could have been my father, or any of us, I guess.
Well, that's just great. Now what do I do?
I would dearly like to help you. But even though I have searched through all the texts I have here, I can find no reference to anything like this experience of yours, at least for now. But until we have found out more, you must try to fight against this thing. Do not allow it to get comfortable. We don't know what its intentions are or how powerful it is. It could be dangerous for you.
Was Buffalo there? Why didn't it flow into him and his biceps?
So then, any result from the study of all these creatures of the swamps?
I have discovered a few things about the small chrysalids. They are much faster, but it seems that they can only attack from close up, using their pinchers. I also noticed that the medium-sized chrysalids were slower than small ones, but they, however, can fire tiny projectiles.
Yay, more ranged enemies.
So then, any result from the study of all these creatures of the swamps?
Well, I'd really like to meet some of these creatures who live here, but for now...
Okay, that's just gonna be repeating dialogue.
What can you tell me about the World Heart?
Many of the people on Vertial believe that the World Heart is just a myth. There are many different beliefs from one region to another, but most of them have more in common than not.
The World Heart is where life and prosperity are born. Yeah, I already heard that crap.
If we were to imagine Vertial as a living being, the World Heart is exactly what it sounds like, the heart of the world. It's what keeps the world alive. It beats, and Vertial lives from its energy. If you wish, I can try to learn more about it. Come back and see me in a few days.
Do so. Okay, well, I don't know why I'm saying that crap when I had a demon inside my head talking about it. Combat style.
We need to talk about your combat style.
What do you want me to do?
Oh. Just stay the way you are.
In fact, you fight just great. Don't change a thing.
Alright.
Alright. Well, that's, NPC dialogue for you. And more lore and backstory and stuff. Well, with that lovely use of time, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. My hat, it was off to you.